Ghana versus Nigeria. Really and truly, it's love. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is what was different. The music changed. There's more music coming from the continent.
Hi yo people, it's the guy Mr. Lots and this is Win or Lose, We Move. And I'm here with the one and only, or should I say the ones and twos and only HomeBros. Come on my guys, come on my boys. Thank you so much for being here. How you guys doing?
It's my fun time.
I got insurance in it. Refreshments.
Oh my god. Well boys, as you can see, we have a beautiful game of Awari here. And as you can see, we have the beautiful flag of Ghana right here. And I know you boys are real GH boys, real Ghanaians. So I know you know the rules of the game. But as I said, win or lose, we move. There's no hard feelings. We're not taking it. It's all light. So boys, whilst you guys are playing each other, I'll just be asking you guys some questions, just get to know you guys more, understand the journey, right? All right. Let me start from I think the beginning. I think you guys, from what I know, you guys started dancing from secondary school. Right, from secondary school. But what I really want to ask is, hey boss,
you start here, boss.
You start from the boss. So. But yeah, boys, obviously, as I know, you guys started from secondary school. But obviously, music, you're dancing for you guys, there has to be a passion from someone before secondary school. So I want you guys to talk to me about that. When did dance become a thing for you guys before you started dancing together in secondary school?
I would say, for me, I think watching You Got Served, the dance movie, was one of the first moments I was like, oh, I definitely want to learn how to dance like that in the movie. Like the head spins, the breaking, the tricks, I was like, that is amazing. Wow. Plus, watching MJ and all the stuff he did at the time, and he was like, I'm doing a mad one. All the time he was doing his concerts, his videos, shows and stuff. It was like inspiration, I'm just getting gas. So I was like, I like to dance. And then went to secondary school now. Actually, we did a show in primary school. We had to do a show. And it was an MJ inspired show, funny enough. Wow. And from there, it was the learning routines, being able to pick up routines and do that. From there,
it's yours, bro.
No. Hey, you have four.
Chairman.
Hey, boss. The rules is making the boys so someone.
We inside,
No, but yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, from there, secondary school started, and there was a breakdance club. And we just joined the breakdance club to see what it was about. Just the vibe, and we saw actually in the flesh now, people were spinning their heads, doing head spins, windmills, handstand tricks. So I was like, this is crazy. So we just started going to the breakdance club on a Thursday in secondary school, and we just stayed going. It became like a little, a hobby, a club for us to be part of. And then the teachers of that club were associated with a hip hop company. They're involved in a company called Boy Blue, which is one of the biggest UK hip hop companies in UK. And one of the teachers left. Kofi, he left to go do a tour. So another dancer called Skittles came to replace him for the time being, 6 weeks, and she saw us and how we dance and our energy and vibe. She was like, come to Boy Blue rehearsals, see how you see the vibe, and then we can join the company. Wow. So we were like, okay, whatever. We didn't know nothing about it, we just went, and then we saw a crew, big adults, doing routines, and there's a whole kind of thing. And then the youth company that we were going to see, there were 8 of them in there, maybe 7 of them, they're all doing routines, stuff like that. I was like, this is so cool. So we joined in, learned our first kind of hip hop routine for the first time, and then we were asked to freestyle at the end. And so we built the first freestyle already, so we came, did our thing, breaking, blah, blah, blah. Our energy was different to everyone else's, we were very raw. And then from there, it was you guys basically got scouted, joined the crew. And then from there, we had a new family to be part of, a new kind of discipline to be okay, Monday the rehearsals, Thursday we have club and then rehearsals. We had a schedule during school time.
You don't good to remember the days, Trust me. I'm thinking, how did this guy remember the days we used to train? And so, this is how many years ago?
2005 was it?
2005, yeah.
So Yeah, so we 04 when we started secondary school, started the club. 05 we joined Red Blue, and then from there it became a new venture in life. And then and that's what. And then for us both being at the same time, enjoying at the same time, our love for dance developed. At the same time, we're learning all the different styles now, going into popping, locking, house, hip hop choreography. You name it. We just went through learning from these teachers, from these mentors, and from the company itself. And the discipline of what dance is. Yeah. And then just that's what kind of ignited the whole career in dance as a general sense. Afro is a different kind of story because that's tied to us too.
So for yourself, what would you say your passion was really birthed like?
Their passion. Their passion for the dancing was, when it was a movement.
When it was a movement within your body.
Well, the thing is that my story coincides with TC's story because we started our journey together.
Wow.
Pardon? It's your turn. Okay. Anyway, you want to start on your side? Yeah. But what it was that I was always interested in dance. It's on my. Thank you again. But the key thing was our journey's the same. We've known each other for a long time. The reason why we're called HomeBros, part of like the bros part of it, comes down to the fact that myself and TC have known each other since we were like 3 years old. Wow. Yeah, continue. So we know it's like since 3 years old we started like preschool, nursery. Do you know what I mean? Reception, all the way through school. Yeah. So we've known each other for such a long time. And our journey coincides. For me, definitely Michael Jackson was a big inspiration for me. I'll say my dad was an inspiration for me because my dad dances. Yeah, my dad was known as a dancer, Hey, UK, London, UK. My dad was known as a dancer. You stop there.
You stop here.
I stopped here.
No, keep going.
Hey, Charlie, this one not continuing.
It's because there's so many in these. Look at that. This one like 15 in there.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah, keep going.
Right, he's winning without even playing.
Yes, it's not nice.
Keep going.
Go. Then you end here.
I don't like it, bro.
Yeah, my dad was a dancer, so anyone that's like knows about like GH and UK, like especially how like the GH community was like in the UK, especially around the 80s, 90s, and Broadwater Farm and all of that, how the funerals and parties and all that. My dad was known as High Life King.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad's a dancer. High Life King, aka Brother Lawson. What are you talking about? So yeah, he used to dance. He used to just embarrass me, to be fair. And then in general, it was something different. Do you get what I'm saying? Like when you grow up in school, you have to remember when we started secondary school, it was like 2004. Yeah. When you started school back then, it was either you played football or you spit. Really? True. Only towards the end of school, that's when basketball started to come a thing. To be real, at the beginning of school, basketball wasn't even a thing. Someone's going to go play people. What are you talking about? Like, allow it. Like, it's football. It's true. Or you spit. In year 7, this was like
playground,
early Sony Ericsson days where everyone used to cut their phone and then got the instrumental playing and people are going back to back. We used to spit, do you know what I mean? Everyone used to spit, everyone used to write their 8 bars, make tunes and all of that. That was the culture because grime was the culture. What's in 2004?
Remember back at the bus?
Yeah.
We're talking 2004.
I thought like people that were there, they used to hate us.
We're talking 2004 and 2004 growing up in East London as well. East London is like the
home of grime.
Like the home of grime. So to understand like this is what it was. So dance was so different. I think what really brought us into dance as well was our big homies in dance. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we saw, there's an after school club in our school. Yeah, we went to Brampton. Now Brampton is all sending kids to Oxford and Cambridge.
When it was gritty.
Yeah. But it was a thing of first. It was like, you have to remember, we're there at Brampton and you're just navigating, cool. You see an after school club, you're like, alright, cool, let me try this after school club. What this guy spinning on his head here, but also the guy was a mentor. Do you know what I mean? FM was a mentor, so it wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna teach you and then bust out. He actually cared about us. Do you know what I mean? He was the type of person that if he saw like sometimes trouble happening at school and all of that, he'll be the type to come and drag us out, throw us in the studio, make us do press ups, because he was like, do you know what I mean? He saw that, look, you don't need to be caught up in this. I know it's like, and more time, getting caught up in things is not like you're actively trying to get caught up in it. Sometimes it's just being around at the wrong time. Do you know what I mean? And then you just end up being a part of something. Just chilling with your people after school, on your way home. But we always had a thing where he was putting us in the studio. By putting us in the studio, it then made us like, okay, cool. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that was kind of like our starting within dance. 2005 was early days. Back then, dance wasn't cool like that. But we had mentors that were letting us know that it was cool. We had elders within the school that were also training. And they were like, no, you guys can really go. You guys can do it. So it gave us the confidence to be like, do you know what? Yeah, maybe we can do it. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna take it this way. But I want to speak to you guys in blocks because there's so much I want to speak to you guys about. So obviously you guys mentioned break. You guys actually breakdancing was a passion. It sounds like that's where you started, and that's where I was going. Obviously you guys built your foundations on. But now let's come to this moment that I want to talk about. So you've done all of that. You've been practicing. You've joined. All these mentors been giving you guys confidence. Now this is it. Being African, being Ghanaian, now there's a sound from your country that's now making waves in azonto.
Come on.
That goes crazy. That goes crazy. And not you guys saying it, I would say, I'm not gonna lie, as I think off camera I was telling you, I remember where I sat when I saw this video of you guys, right? And in this video, that's when you guys were dancing to the famous Antenna song. Right, you did the azonto tuning, and that went crazy. I want you guys to tell me, firstly, how were you feeling when you were going to record that video? Was it just, let's just do a video, or what were some of the issues you dealt with recording that video? Before you put out the video, and how was the feeling after the success of that video?
Antenna's a funny one. Yeah, so 2012 we've kind of started. We launched our first azonto video to Column and Sarkodie. We did Column part 1, and the end of the video was Sarkodie Could Kill Me as an outro. And that was our first video, second video that we recorded. The first one we put out 2011, but it was terrible quality, so we just took it down.
We shot it at night outside.
It was terrible.
Imagine.
It was terrible.
When the Vim touches you, it doesn't matter whether it's day or night, you get it cracking.
So 2012 now in January, we put out our video, and then we had no hopes. We didn't have a idea of what YouTube was like. We know what YouTube was. We didn't know anything about viral or big numbers. We just put it out for see what happens. Because we really saw at the time before we put our video out, there was like a couple of videos in Ghana, and then the one video that we saw that kind of was like the inspiration to kind of make sure our video looked a certain way was Kwame Flavor with E-Man in Chief in the Penthouse. So it was Penthouse
azonto.
And that was the video that came out in UK that was like a video of them not doing azonto.
If you know, you know.
In a fun vibe.
Yeah.
So we did our one, and then it came out, and then we were just monitoring the views on our friend's page. Our friend Jay Prince, the artist Jay Prince, he was coming up in Zor. He filmed for us, and then we put it out. He's watching it, and he's like, you man, check your views. And I checked it. We were like 10K. We were like, oh my god, like 10K. We didn't know like cool. Then week in, week out, I'm on Twitter. On Facebook, and we're just seeing like people are like tagging their link. I was like, what's going on? So I followed Curtis one time and said, "K, we hit 50K." He goes, "What?" I said, "Yeah." And then from there, it just kept going. We ended up about 350,000 views on the Column video, and then from there, Silver hit us up. I know Silver for many years from church. We're like family. Hit me up like, Boom Tar video shoot. You and K come through. We were like, cool. It's first video shoot into the Afro. So we went through and then we saw the gateway kind of into what the Afro industry was kind of building in UK. We saw other dancers, we saw DJ, Afrobeats, we saw fashion brands bringing their clothes, we saw Kwame Flavor like in the flesh and Squab, and so we're like, cool, there's a thing here. And then everyone was focused on us, everyone was waiting for us to dance because of what Colin done already. We already had done our own kind of energy and spin on azonto already. So when we came to our shots now, everyone's like lined up in front of the camera to watch us do our scene. So that was like, okay, there's a lot of pressure. It was dope, and then from there we let out Travel Mags. Again, long time friend, and he released the Travel Zonto skank, and I created the skank for that. we put out the first azonto tutorial that was on YouTube from UK. That again did numbers 300,000 views plus. Fuse hollers after that and he's like, yeah, I want to meet you guys, like, I want to work. Azonto is already out. The video is in the UK. We didn't do that video shoot because we were busy. And then he goes, I'll miss you guys on Azonto, but I want to give you guys on this project for Antenna. We're like, what's Antenna? Sent us a song, like, cool, like, and he told us the idea. So because we met him in his area, Mitcham, down south, far along the way. We met him in a car park in Mitcham, and he played the track in my car and explained that he wants a concept of like partner work, like two people can do
controlling,
something together and someone controls the other person. So we us, you know, being from a dance background or from hip hop wise, we started doing things that we know concept wise makes sense to do in twos. So it could be like a boxing match or someone getting a haircut or what else did we do? Just other stuff that relates to two people doing it. And then he was like, cool. We recorded a little bit of BTS, we kept it cool. A week later, we've met Fuse again in Central with Mr. Hackett. Gone to the, what was it, HomeBros or whatever, got the suits.
Wow.
We've gone to Central now to film outside, what's it, London Eye. And Chocodero at the time and stuff like that. And then as we were filming in Central, it got so, you know, crowds, it got too packed for us to film in Central. Because we couldn't actually move that well because they were coming so close. And we weren't like official buskers with like an actual area. So we went downstairs on the train to move location. As we're on the train, our Fuse is looking around and goes, you know, let's do it right now. And we were like, what? He goes, let's do it right now. We said, okay, cool. So I get off the train to then walk back on like a fake. They stopped at whatever stop. I walk on, K stays on, and we come out. We don't know each other. You know, we're both wearing suits. That video. Fuse is filming. At that time, Fuse is coming up. He's filming the video. Crazy. Hackett's got the speaker. And then we just started filming the train, and the audience were like, "What the hell are these men doing?" And we just let the spirit take over. We did it, released it, and then it became Antenna, and it was like we were the first video at that time for like 2 male dancers to hit 1 million views full stop from anything Afro or Zonto based. It was only us, and I think CEO just hit 1 million on their video to Oliver Twist, the band. So only us two had that amount of views full stop. And then from there it just and then Fuse was like, you man, we're starting something, and then he created the worldwide challenge where he just offered it out to whoever. So then again, long time friend KB, he's called me like, bro, what the hell? Like, I want to do one. I was like, yeah, you and Tracy jump on, but you can't obviously do London. So you got to do somewhere else in Manchester, film with Fuse in Manchester. And I started doing the 2 UK videos, and then they just propelled into Team France, Germany, Holland, Belgium, all over the world. Australia, and it went over from time like people in the army were doing our challenge, people in China to Australia. We were like, and Fuse, he's going so big that he got signed. And then we were like, we go on the streets, everyone, yo. Train boys, underground, get on the ground. We went Westfield.
Taking pictures, also we couldn't go Westfield with each other.
We were Westfield together, long day. Like we'll be in Westfield and lions and people come to us, you guys are on the train. It went, and then it got to a point where we were like, bro, this is crazy. Because we've never been around this level of whatever this is before. And then it led to the whole, so like even Antenna wasn't our first gig in terms of Afro, it was the gig that sparked the complete change into HomeBros becoming one, a worldwide kind of like phenomenon, and then two, our career into what we want to give back to the culture and give back to Azonto as it's growing, Ghana, UK, and dance full stop. We just kept that momentum. And then after the success of it, we started doing shows with Fuse and other artists and concerts, or like it could be a show at O2, headline show this, or Afrobeats, all the Afrobeats shows, or on the stage. As soon as we come on stage, everyone knows we are, the crowd's going crazy because we're coming out with Mr. Silver, or coming out with Tribal, or coming out with Fuse, or coming out with someone. So there was now love for us as dancers as well as the artists being on stage. And then that's what was like, okay, cool, we're doing some stuff here. And then we started doing like wedding gigs and personal little gigs for companies and schools and unis, and it just...
Yeah, I think like what it was as well was that moment working with Fuse, I feel like everything just aligned. You know when something's just meant to happen, you know what I mean? Everything just aligned. Everything just aligned, because even when we were choreographing that piece, we dumbed it down so many times. Like you can watch footage of us before that and look at where we're pushing it to, and then look at that one, and you can see that we dumbed it down. But we dumbed it down on purpose because we knew that this has a potential. When we were choreographing, we were like, hold on, if we do it like this, people will, it'll be too much for people. If we can dumb it down and get it really clear, people will feel like it's achievable. so that they can try and.
It's true, because I was watching that video thinking, maybe I can.
He said, maybe. With Akatoshi, he said, maybe. I can. Maybe he done it with the group.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but when I tried, win or lose.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it needed to feel achievable, so that people could be like, oh, what is this? Because you don't want it. With especially dance, when you're getting people to understand the dance, sometimes you need to give a little feeler out. You need to cast the net out, and I feel like that paired with Fuse's idea to just be like, let's just do it on the train, just created magic. And since then, as TC said, it's been like go. Like we've worked with so many amazing artists. We've worked just constantly behind the scenes, in front of camera, on stages, so many different facets within the entertainment industry.
Well, the game is still here, but yeah, you guys mentioned something.
Yeah.
So the success goes crazy. Now you guys are literally not even local famous. You're famous.
Huh?
So you go famous.
Still local.
No. But like at this stage, you are going to Westfield and you can't even breathe. That's a big deal back then.
At one point, it was.
Back then, yeah. So now, that's happened. Now you've gone into the Afro scene, the Afro world. Now you are in that world. You're meeting artists and things like that. As you mentioned, that you're meeting artists in these rooms. So then, at what point do you go, okay, we're gonna do this full time? But then, how did you guys know, like, who taught you guys how to do it full time in terms of the business side of it? And is there a business side to dance?
Okay, so with our journey, it's not like we planned from the get go that look, this is how it's gonna go. At first, genuinely, it was two boys that are best friends that we love to dance and we love to train in dance, and then this dance has come out from Ghana, our country.
And we have it.
Impossible that we're not gonna jump on it. Impossible that we're not gonna show full vim to the vibe. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it was at first. So at first, we wasn't really looking at this as, okay, this is gonna be our career in terms of that. Mind you, if dance was gonna be our career,
we're still in school.
Yeah, we're still in school.
Wait. Pause.
We're in uni now.
Yeah, uni now.
It was our first year of uni.
Crazy.
Which our first year of uni. Yeah, so we're focusing on our degrees. We're trying to get our degrees.
And what was your degrees in?
Business management and finance.
Okay, that I can see that one.
I actually studied sports studies.
Wow.
Yeah, man, sports coaching. I specialize in sports coaching and marketing. Sports marketing.
I can see all of it. Within you guys.
When it came through, it was like, cool. We're starting to get some traction now. But luckily enough, we had mentors within dance. Wow. Remember, because we were already part of a dance company. So we were actually really getting the 5, 6, 7, 8 in. Like we were really training, because that's what we had been doing throughout our whole secondary school life. So at this point, we're like a good 6, going on 7 years in.
Yeah, from 05 to 2011, 2012, yeah, it was 6 years.
6 years in,
7 years
in dance.
In dance, our dance training.
So we're already like, we're really moving, we're really grooving, like we're really getting it cracking.
Yeah.
So in order for this to like take place now, we were just thinking, let's just see how it goes. Some of it we're learning on the spot, some of it we had mentors to be like, look, this is how you structure your dance in full stop, in terms of choreographing, creating dances. That side we learned a lot from being a part of a company to understand, okay, how do you count music? The music theory, how do you count music? How do you understand the different energies within a song to then think of the movement that will match up nicely with that song in order to create a certain pattern of movement. Do you know what I mean? In theory, when we're looking at dance, you are visualizing an auditory thing. Like music is auditory, and then we're making it into visual, so we're making the music come alive. So how do you choose and pick the best movement in order to articulate that? This is what we learned from our company. But in terms of like the business of this, it was kind of done as we went along, like learning the game, but also learning your value and learning, okay, I've put so much work into it, this is the value, but also learning that, okay, if you're gonna work with an artist, this is the energy you need to bring. This is the professionalism you need to bring. Like, we were some of the most hardworking people on set. Like, there was times that we'll go to a shoot, a genuine shoot will just be like, we'll go to the shoot, we're there on time, we're ready to go. We've got our code, we know what we're wearing, boom, boom, boom. They're like, oh yeah, you ready to do a take? Let's do a rehearsal. We're like, film the rehearsal. That's us. We're like, film the rehearsal because we ain't gonna give you a half-hearted rehearsal within the first take. We're not gonna do a block. We're gonna go straight in. As soon as we're done, it's like we go again. Have you got the shot? That's how we were known for working. It's like, have you got the shot? Let's look at playback. And then whilst we're looking at playback, we're adjusting ourselves. We're like, ooh, when we done this, boom, 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 how can we adjust? We wasn't in framing a bit, we're out of framing a little bit more. Let's make sure that we hit it like this. Ooh, I know how it looks like on camera. Sometimes you go to a shoot and where you think that maybe a lot of your facials are being captured, it's not. Maybe it's more silhouettes because of the way the lighting is being installed. But if you're working with silhouettes, can your movement be within your body? No, it can't. You need to now accentuate silhouettes so that you can see the outline of your body. So it's understanding, okay, looking at it, oh, okay, we need to look at more silhouettes in terms of this is more silhouette-y. There's not much of like facial expressions being harnessed, but sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes it's very close up, it's very hitting there. So now when we're doing azonto and you're hitting a close-up shot, what move are you doing? What moves are you doing? Are you gonna do smash and blow?
You're doing
none of it is in there. So it's understanding how do you move within the context of how the filming is gonna be taking place and understanding that. We were doing that on the job, we were learning that, but we were also ready to get it cracking and work hard. So that whenever we left the shoot, we never left the shoot where it was like, oh, these men are just acting or using all that. Literally, we always worked hard at a shoot. A lot of shoots we done, we finished early because we came in and it's like boom, 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 boom. We get the work done, so people love to work with us, especially artists love to work with us, but especially directors love to work with us. Because for the director, they'll come and work with us, they'll be like, these guys just work and get the job done. A lot of these directors, you have to remember, at that time, this Afrobeats music video is not their main event. Let's be very, very real. This is not the bread and butter. This is literally, can you come and shoot something for one day? Cool, I'm going to charge them this much. And there's a job for them. It's literally a day job, a day rate. The fact that we made their jobs easier and made them more excited about the project, then made them feel like a lot of our work was then happening from the actual director being like, oh, you guys was just so easy to work with. You just get the job done. I've got something else that they need some people for. I want to work with you. I want to work with you. I want to work with you. And that's where the first rule of marketing, word of mouth, comes into it. When you've done a good job, then it leads you to doing other good jobs. And it allows you to work with more people, making sure that our reputation out there wasn't a reputation of, it was literally like we were really trying to work. We really cared about artists. We really tried to bring our best work to the artists and to what the music video needed. Sometimes an artist will think they know what the music video needs. We look at it and we're just like, bro, are you sure this is gonna work? Because what you're saying, I get it because you've seen us do it for another person. However, with your style of music, it's not gonna work with that. We need to hit it on a different approach. We hit it on that different approach and then it comes true. And it's like, yes, because there's an understanding of certain things. For example, when you're looking at a musician really understands their music. Do you know what I mean? Especially someone that plays an instrument, they understand their music, they understand the theory of it, and they understand what will work. Certain things that maybe a normal civilian won't understand, like understanding when something's in key. We may not be able to hear it or understand it like that. They do. When it comes to movement, that's what we do. Do you get what I'm saying? Literally, when it comes to movement, that's what we specialize in. So when it comes to now moving to your music, it's literally what we specialize in. So we can tell you that this is, really want to be moving like this. Or like, you're like, oh yeah, I want you to dance behind me and all of that. And I'm just like, if you want us to dance with you, you need to kind of give us this energy, some more artist development. Because if you don't bring us this energy with your own movement, we're going to grind you into the dust because it's going to be like, why are you even standing next to them? You know what I mean? You don't want it to look weird. So it's really trying to help projects and help artists get to that level so that the whole picture, the whole thing is cohesive and makes sense.
So I think it's your turn. Once we continue that.
Yeah, I know.
Now, Ginger the game.
You understand?
I think so. The question I'll ask yourself would be, obviously you're doing that with artists. When did you guys move from, okay, Charlie, we'll just pull up and do these things out of love because we're starting and everybody's growing and vibing. So, bro, I'm not gonna lie, this is now bread and butter. So no money, no dancing. When did that hit home and how was that? How was that time for you guys when you decided to do that? No money, no dancing.
I feel like I think it's interesting because in the beginning there was always like at least the offer of expenses just because it's people's time.
Yeah, true.
But I think from expenses and showing love to artists that we were growing with or that we met and became friends with, especially the early artists that were taking over the scene as well, and then we're doing shows that are still new to us. So going up Park to Afrobeats Sundays to Going Independence, like that all that stuff was new to us to be on the stages as well. So we were still experiencing new things. But after a while, because we're still dancing outside of Afro, we're in theatres doing shows all throughout the year with Boy Blue, and we're seeing and we know that our dancers, like peers and mentors above us, are getting paid for commercial work. So we hear the numbers in the commercial industry. We hear about how dancers can get paid, how teachers get paid for like just teaching a class and stuff like that. So slowly we're like, okay, cool, we do this stuff, but over here now. So even though we're coming together as Africans and united, there's still a value for art. And then again, because we're in the rooms now with artists and directors and so on, so we're hearing the discussions about how the shoot's going to be made and how the show's going to be. So we're hearing numbers. We're like, cool. So this is the budget for this, and so what's the budget for us? Because we're still working here. Yeah. And it's so like, the expensive thing can't be the only thing we're going to get paid because now I'm still giving you work. So as artists, you're getting paid to work as artists. The lighting guy's getting paid to do lighting. The sound engineer's getting paid to do the sound. The fashion, even the models are getting paid to do model. Yeah. So if I'm dancing then, oh bro, you're gonna pay me as well. And it just gradually became a thing of we started to just gradually charge. Again, nothing crazy, but just make sure we can eat from this shoot or that show, and make sure we still have respect for the artists, but they also have respect for us. I'm not leaving my house just to dance for you because we're boys. Yeah. We've gone way past that. The scene has now been cemented. Yeah. So it's now okay. If you're making money, why am I not making money? It makes no sense to me. Yeah. And then there was a period where, because we started teaching ourselves, we're now making our own money off of HomeBros name. Okay. So we're doing shows in universities and little concerts here and there, shows where they're booking HomeBros. So we're getting paid to do HomeBros stuff now. So if I'm getting paid £300 as HomeBros, and that's just me and him, why am I dancing with an artist and not getting that same money or more? Sure. When I'm doing technically a bigger show or a bigger piece of work because we're with an artist now. Yeah. So that balance, when it started changing, we're like, cool. So we just started letting people know the charges this, charges that, blah blah, this plus expenses. Some of them were cool, okay, cool. And some of them, even if it was tight for them, at least they were expressing like, bro, I want like this one's a bit tight. Can I give you this one, and then I pay you the rest. After that, again, honest conversation. We can do that because we're still working to build. But the ones who didn't really value the art of dancing, because in the beginning a lot of it was free, but a lot of it was based on like friendship and like building the scene together. They were almost like shocked that there's now going to be a charge to dancing sounds. You went from making no money to singing and rapping to now making money. So why they're not being changed for us as well? And there's artists we have to just kind of say, okay, cool, no stress, and we won't do it. Fair. And we were never scared to say no or it's alright because we're dancing anyway in our other industry where we dance every week, and we love what we do over here. This is again still very new. It's still building. It's not going to be the end of me and Cuz's world. True. Because we still do this. So we're still, because HomeBros is not fully established as like a business company that's fully successful and everything. We're still building HomeBros anyway. So we have no clue what direction HomeBros can take. We can just go this way and start becoming this. This is forming as it's going. So we're not hanging on artists for it to make our career something. That was never the case. So when artists started saying being a bit difficult to work with, we're like, okay, cool, no stress. Because we can do a video ourselves anyway, to a track, go viral and get paid regardless because we're gonna get booked for that video by whoever wants to book us for other stuff. Like the dance sector, the entertainment sector is so vast. So it's not artist work is the only piece of work, but a lot of time artists thought that they're the reason that people are going through them to blow. So nowhere near, because a lot of artists that started booking us were booking us because we were already HomeBros. And some artists we helped become artists, as in we helped their brand even become something because you attach themselves to us. So it goes hand in hand. If I respect you and your work, respect us. And then for a while, there's a while where you do a lot of like, let's say video shoots or a lot of like shows with artists. It was cool because we were teaching and we were performing with Boy Blue and doing other stuff. And then vice versa, when we do show up now at a show, everyone's like, one, kind of misses us, surprised to see us, we're getting paid our rate, and you know, we saw a relationship with the crowd, people that know us from our brand is still going on social media. We come on stage now, it's a long day, because we keep working. We don't get a no or get like a little whatever from an artist and we say no, that job's gone, and we just stay at home and wait for the next one. No, we work the whole time. So when the next show comes around, and we agree to it and they agree to it, then it's cool. Then we come out, have a great time, go home next day, we've got more work to do. So we never stopped based on this. So that gap for us never really was a gap, because even though I might not be at all the Afrobeat Sundays, I might be at all the so-called shows with all the artists coming through, that same day, me because I still did something else.
I'm sure.
So it was okay for us to miss certain things. So when we did show up, it was like, HomeBros are here. Okay, man. Like sometimes absence means the heart grow fonder. So me and Kurt's being absent sometimes and building our career still, people still see what we're doing anyway. So it's the fact that I can actually be away, still make my money and still build my career, and then when I do show up, it's like, okay, yeah, these men are they're the serious ones. So when you come, there was an energy of K and T are here. It's gonna be tight.
And the next generation.
Yeah, it's hoping to see
you know
that you can be your own boss and be your own, you know, your own powerful entity, as well as respecting everyone else around you. But the values got to be what's important, because now the value is what, again, you eat from is your value. So you can't hold that and make it a thing. You're gonna be chasing a lot of the industry and chasing people to try and give you respect for a long time, when you could kind of harness yourself, work on your craft, make it a thing, build that brand, where we flipped the whole script, where instead of me and Curtis now waiting for work, everyone came towards us now to work.
True.
People to hold us, I was
we didn't bread people.
Okay.
You know, when you stop breading, when you stop breading or thinking like, oh yeah, if an artist hollers, oh yeah, I've got to run, then things change. When you're able to say, no, you know, I'm cool,
no stress,
I'll pass. It's fine. Like if you're not ready for it yet, or you're not in the best position, and then we can't find a way to work with each other, because we're always willing to try and find a way. And if it's not like that, it's not a problem. No matter how big you are as an artist, this is the thing. It's not a problem. But more time from us continuing to say no to certain things because the rate wasn't respectful of the art. It allowed that whoever artist that is their team to go rethink it and maybe come back with a better offer. And sometimes they'll come up with a better offer, but maybe that offer isn't the greatest. But there's some dancers that are able to take that opportunity, who are coming up, and they're able to now get a job that they would have had to have done it for free a month ago, but now they found some money in order for them to not have to do it for free because we said no. Do you know what I mean? It's not realizing that there's many artists in the scene. There's many videos. There's many things that have actually come to us first. There's many throughout the past 10 years. There's so many projects, so many things that have come for us first. And if they've not had it right, we've just said, you know, it's cool. No. And then the artists have realized, or the team have realized, they're like, hold on, we actually need to be paying money. Maybe we can't afford that amount, but we can find some other amount. They find it, and then allow some people to get paid. And then those dancers that come through are then able to learn that, hold on, as long as this is the thing, as long as you're working on your dance and you're training in your dance in order to warrant being paid for it as a professional, then you should be able to be paid as a professional, because it goes hand in hand. We're not just out here just saying, pay a dancer. You have to train. Do you know what I mean? You have to be worth
the payment.
Exactly. So you have to make sure you work on your craft. You have to respect the craft, work on your craft to then be able to be like, okay, this is the rate, etc., etc. But that's just business in general, isn't it? That's the way you're learning anything. You know what I mean?
And it looks like some business about to happen here, because I think you're winning.
No, your turn now. It's your turn now.
So
this thing is
your turn now. I'd like to hit you, bro.
I'm trying to bring this home, guys, but I want to ask before we bring it all the way home. Oh, he's won. Before we bring, because that's his as well. No, that's all him now. He keeps that. So before we bring all the way home, I want to ask, because there's probably there is a dancer listening, or somebody, a musician, whatever, somebody who wants to pursue their passion, right? They would want to know, obviously within 10 years you've been in the game, obviously from the highlights it looks all success and whatnot, but what I want to know is, from both your sides, what was the biggest loss and challenge you guys went through, and how did you move regardless of the loss?
Ooh, loss. I'm not.
Or a challenge. It doesn't have to obviously return.
I don't think I would put anything to losses, because I always say there's no losses. You just lessons learned.
You just moved.
Yeah, you just move. Yeah.
I like that.
So I'm saying, I feel like me and Kay, I think again, transitioning from working with so many artists and helping a lot of artists kind of cultivate their careers, and then we didn't reap the same benefits they did. And sometimes with a bit of, friction with some journeys, I was like, you feel a bit violated, or a bit like, the respect kind of changed as you got big. You kind of dimmed down the energy for us when we were there from the get-go. And I feel me and Curtis were like, cool, no stress. Each of their own journey. And I think me and Curtis, when we said, let's focus on HomeBros and what we're doing, and then we really harnessed our teaching careers and harnessed our choreography careers, the whole game changed. Because me and Curtis then became, we was already viral from internet and blah blah, but then we started working so much on our stuff, that teaching, our videos that we do in our classrooms and release that, they started going viral. So we're making routines to whatever song it is, it goes out, bunch of views. Those artists now reach out to us to work. And so we just started working for ourselves genuinely. And it wasn't about artists, it was about us. And then dancers come to our class from all over the world just to learn azonto and Afro dance. So we're now connecting with dancers. Then we started traveling and teaching. So we're teaching around the world now. Teaching the culture and the art of azonto, plus other styles such as Afro House, Kumtikale, Dombolo, and we're meeting other practitioners and OGs in their right of the dance styles and connecting around the world through dance.
I love that.
So while we didn't even think about artists. We release a song, goes on YouTube, our page grows. It wasn't about if our artist contacts us about a video or not. It'd be nice, but we're not thinking about that. We're just dropping it because we love to dance. And then we start building our next generation. So then Home Fam becomes the thing we're working on. And then doing shows with other dancers, constantly working on creating events for dancers. So we made ADC, which is Afro Dance Championships. And that came from, we did azonto battles back in 2012, 2013, the first ever battle event in Afro in terms of UK. And azonto came from such a happy place that the battle element comes from the hip hop side that we're from. So we thought, what if we did battles but in azonto? And it was crazy. Again, the first one we did, it was back in our studio in Maryland. Silver was there to judge, Charles Max judge, and we even had Flystar filming. That footage came out. We passed 100k views like that, because it was a new thing that we've never done before. Happened twice. We did two parts of it. PPV filmed the second one. Went out again, views, blah blah. We left it. 3 years later now, we revisit that idea. We're like, no, let's bring it back. I'll make it an event, make it a spectacle. ADC becomes a thing. 2016, we launched our first one in the venue. The whole dancers, the scene come, battles. We have a champion, a winner. But it's now an event just for dancers. It's not to do nothing else. And what made it even more sweeter for me and Kay to see that the game has changed, that we booked an artist to perform at the end. So it's flipped that much. And then from there, ADC now becomes a yearly annual event that dancers are looking forward to. And we're in charge of that, and we book artists to be a part of that. So that's the showing the whole, again, the value of your art, value of craft, and then if people respect you enough, they will come and work with you and for you in other aspects. 100%. So it's not about artists and brands are the only ones that can work and book people. So can we, if you get to that point where people respect your craft so much that they trust you to do that.
And
so
they support you as well. Like we've had Jules come through, we had Silver come through, Easy. We've had Easy even gave us a cash prize, money to add to the cash prize, because he was just like, because we had worked with him so early.
I remember seeing you guys.
We were just one of the only people to show him love in the beginning of Shit or Banquilize. We were one of the first people to jump on those tracks and show him love from the UK. That helped him get his first booking for Ghana independence. I can't remember what year it was, to come over to the UK for Ghana independence. I remember saying we were like I remember when he saw us, he was like,
He
"Nah,
said,
you guys were showing us."
I came here to meet you guys.
Yeah, it's like you guys were showing me love from before. That's the reason why we can see Easy now and we just chat and have. It's not even about business. It's literally like
eat some food,
my bro. Like we're just good. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the respect is there. Do you get what I'm saying? So TC's 100% right. 100% right.
But that relationship we built with artists because of just of the genuine friendship, being Ghanaian and Nigerian away from Africa, like genuine unity, and then the business comes to it. All that stuff me and Curtis take a lot of pride in is what builds our networking foundation that who we work with want to come back multiple times, and vice versa. We want to work with them multiple times as well because their music is good and they're good people. So when it comes to that, me and Curtis are doing this over here, and then people that contact us like, are you unavailable? And now the question is, are you guys available? Because they know we can be so busy by ourselves. So that's where it builds the boss mode of, instead of, oh yeah, I'm here, pick me, to, are you guys around?
Wow.
Because we can easily not be here because we're working for ourselves. Wow. And that back and forth is what led us to keep going for this long, but also help pass that knowledge on to dancers and music. Like, guys, you can do it, but just don't think you can't do it. You can, but value your craft in order to do it.
Sorry, it's not to say that the artists are villains.
Yeah, no.
It's just when there's a mutual respect, then so much amazing work takes place when there's a mutual respect. But when there's not a mutual respect, as a dancer, if you're going to create this as a career, you have to find a way to monetize and understand how you can pay your bills. Because these artists are also trying to
feed themselves.
So how are you going to make sure you feed yourself? And now look, 2023, dance is huge across the world. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, we're seeing dance everywhere. When there's a challenge to a dance and it goes viral, that's when we know sometimes an artist is unknown. When a challenge pops off for that artist, now that artist is getting signed, now that artist is getting
That's been since 2012.
Yeah.
Now that you've said that, just to bring it all in, 2 questions just to wrap out. You mentioned TikTok there.
Yeah, come on.
And it gets me thinking, do you guys ever think, where would we have been if this thing was there when we were doing this first of all? And lastly, was also my last question. Obviously, you start off with the whole, obviously, you jumped on azonto, that whole, obviously being Ghanaians and whatnot. Where, obviously, now it's Afrobeats. How are you guys feeling about that as well, in terms of where the Ghana music scene is, in terms of, us not, in terms of azonto was a thing then, and we felt like we couldn't keep that, it's like the wave died out. How are you guys feeling about that, and also the TikTok space?
Azonto never died.
Yeah.
I tell you this for free. Azonto never died.
Wow.
All that's happened is this. You have to realize, when azonto came through, azonto was the spearheading dance for Afrobeats music. Afrobeats with an S.
Let's see who won whilst we're talking about this.
For Afrobeats music. That was the spearhead. But what we need to realize is that what was happening at that point where people try to call it Afrobeats, it's not Afrobeats because Afrobeats is not a dance style.
Yeah.
It's a music genre.
Sure.
But what it was that as Ghana was like spearheading, okay, this is the dance. Other people were like, oh, well, I'm from Congo. I'm from Nigeria. So what would happen? How it really started in terms of the dancing was that someone would be doing some azonto, boom, azonto, and then they'll hit Malewa. Yeah. They'll hit a step from their country to mix it in, and then things like Gweta will be in there. Someone will do Gweta into was it Akatwashi or something like that. So what was happening was that
all these names.
What was happening was that people they were creating a fusion. So they were like basically repping their countries whilst doing the dances. Also, you have to remember these artists were collaborating with each other. They were collaborating. At first, when Azonto came through, remember when even Wizkid done a song called Azonto? Yeah. How are people dancing to them songs there? Dondo, how are people dancing to them songs there? People were using Azonto to dance to all of the music that was out there. Then slowly education
out at the time.
Then slowly the education started to come out. People were saying Azonto never died. Azonto is still it's still day inside. But the music taste has grown so much that now we're also learning about other street dance styles from Africa. Do you understand what I'm saying? We know more about like Konto and Shaku Shaku from Niger Fusion. Do you understand? So now people are doing Poco dance and doing Happy Feet and all of that. You see people doing Besse, you know what I mean, in the club they're doing Besse and all of that. We're learning more about, in terms of African music in general, we're learning about South Africa and Pansula, Amapiano and all of that. People are digging the vibes. Do you know what I mean? Digging the sound. Do you understand? From Amapiano, past Amapiano, from even before that, from the original Afro House, then with the Amapiano sound, with the actual piano, before the log drum energy, from like from the boom sound. Bro, this is the real.
Yo, I love that.
Where the log drum now we've got loads of Amapiano with the log drum. Before all of that, like it's understanding, okay, this move comes from here, this move comes from here. People started to dance these moves and started to appreciate it, because UK, unlike many countries in the world, is a boiling pot for cultures of Africa, which all vibes with each other.
Sure.
That's what I'm gonna say. That all vibes with each other. You can go to Paris, you can go to France. There are African countries that but they don't even vibe with each other like that.
Sure, I agree.
They in their own little sectors like that, and then they vibe with each other. And then the francophones don't even want to mix with. Bro, something they just don't vibe with each other in different countries. In the UK, bro, you go to secondary school in the UK, you got a Nigerian friend, Ghanaian friend, Congo friend, Albanian friend, British friend called Harry that will probably still eat the jollof rice and the kenke with you. Like, we grew up different.
Come home for dinner.
You get what I'm saying? We grew up different in terms, and we all respected each other's. We respected each other's countries, even though sometimes we'll have little banter like Ghana versus Nigeria. Really and truly, it's love. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is what was different. The music changed. There's more music coming from the continent now, different vibes of the music. So now we're learning more about the dance of the music. Azonto is still there, don't get it twisted. Azonto is still heavy there. It's just more so about the music now just changing, and as the music is growing. Bro, we have to remember hip hop started, when hip hop was starting, and we had like KRS-One and Afrika Boomtata, and we had all of these people, Overcame and all of these guys. The sound of hip hop then is very, but it's also very different to the sound that we have now.
I agree.
Things change and evolve. Feel me, brother?
Wow, boys, I can stay here all day. My challenge, thank you guys so much.
Squad.
Charlie, you check like your guy beats you, but you know that one, regardless with what,
we move in days.
You don't fear.
But guys, again, thank you so much. Again, I want to obviously give you virtual flowers whilst I'm here in presence.
Virtual flowers.
Yo, virtual flowers.
Invisible flowers. But no, honestly, guys, I want to say thank you guys so much for what you've done for the culture. I did see the culture. Honestly, thanks for joining us as well. Sending your wisdom, bro. Like, off camera, a lot of people don't know, but off camera, you guys were giving me gems like crazy. Even for me personally, so I want to say thank you, man. And you know, on the 24th of February, we have to move regardless. We're gonna gyrate. We're gonna be enjoying ourselves.
We're going to gyrate.
We're gonna enjoy ourselves at the lit club. HomeBros are gonna be present. We're gonna be enjoying ourselves. Galore. All of them. So, peace out, guys, and yeah, thank you. We're gonna lose.
We'll move. Freedom.
Come on.
Come on.
Bro, thank you so much. Thank you.